Guys, coming back at you with another Infinity Battle Report. Yuching against Panoceana again. Yeah, I know, but I'm going to be lining up some more bat reps with some non-Pano players, so don't worry about that. This is going to be the Armory, and as you can see with the yellow lines we've marked out, the Armory in the center. I've bought a brand new Micro Art Studio objective room with some consoles inside to represent panoplies. The long yellow strips just represents the areas that are not within our deployment zone and that are not within the exclusion zone that you can't fly in. This mission has a special rule that prevents you from landing drop troops and infiltrating troops directly inside the building, so obviously you've got to actually open the doors first to get in. Yuching deploying on the left hand side of this picture, Pano on the right, and yeah, we're going to make an interesting game of it. Still loving the absolutely gorgeous Micro Art Studio gaming mat for the warehouse, can't get enough of it. Next image, my opponent is playing the Neoterra Capitoline sectorial list, and he's using a lot of proxies. You can see there's a Crocman sniper on the building which belongs to me that he's borrowed for this game. That's actually a Fusilia rocket launcher. He's got some orc spots on the left hand side here. He's running some LF models which are available to the sectorial, but as we get close-ups in some of the pictures, I need to explain what he's actually got. There's a camo marker in the center there as well. But yeah, I won the roll-off, so Yujing can choose, but I opted to go for second turn, just anticipating the fact that, you get a point at the end of every game round for controlling the armory, so the person who goes second has the opportunity to decide, who's going to be in there or not, whereas the first player has to really just set up defenses, and it's easier to attack than defend in a game of Infinity, usually speaking. Next image, I've got this building which I have been working on myself. This is my handiwork, that's why it's so rugged and serrated and poorly done, I must add. But you can see the bot here, which is going to be just a normal 8-point flash pulse repeater drone. You've got the Guangxi, the Zanji in the back, the engineer, the Yanho with HMC as well. Everybody's hanging out having a party in this building. Next image, very blurry one of my opponent's side. He does actually have a Diva with Spitfire, so that's going to be interesting. Next image, he's taken the first turn, moved up a mysterious camo toka to the building, and I'll skip this photo because it is some sort of model here which is used to represent Hexa with Spitfire. So he's got thermo-optical camo, no MSV, but he's got a Spitfire, so getting inside the building now. Next image, he's also moving up his Auxilia bots as well, his Auxilia team I should say, and sitting the bot next to the entrance so that if I walk into the room I'm going to get flame burned or something. And you can see the Diva in the top right being represented by a Nomad model. I believe that's some sort of Wildcat or something like that. I don't even know the names of the models very well. I'm sure you guys will be able to guess. Next picture, he has moved the Hexa into the corner of the building. From the photo here you can see the lovely hollow ad at the top left on his side of the table, on his side of the building. To the bottom right you can see the Hexa in the, from my standpoint, obviously the 5 o'clock position here, but it's in the room corner closest to where I am, just facing the door. And of course the panoplies in the opposite ends of the adjacent corners of the room from this model. Next photo, you can see a 5-man link team standing in the building with just the HMG and rocket launcher sticking out there. I guess they're wanting to make the most of their ARO2s. If you look at that far building at the end of the street there with the numbers painted onto it, that's the building which is crowded by my models, but we decided that for all buildings in this game, it's just true line of sight through the doors, but for that one particular window we agreed that you can see a model only if it's actually base to base with the window, or unless you are base to base with the window looking further into the building. So that's how we decided to play it. Next picture, it's the Yuching first turn. Although there's an exclusion zone marked by these two white pebbles at the bottom of the picture and the yellow lines, we both agreed that we couldn't see any reason why the rules would prohibit you actually putting down the drop troop template half in, half out of the zone, so long as the model itself's within the actual legit area. So that's what's happened. The Tigers attempted the roll and passed it. You've got a CSU being represented by one of these, I can't remember the name of it. one of these reverend troops from the Nomads. I can't remember what they're called. Love the model, but I just, for the life of me, can't remember the name of it. So the Tiger lands and he does move around the corner and he blows away the CSU, just eliminating one of the orders and allowing him an opportunity to move further into the central fire lanes and threaten them later on. Next up, we've got the Hack Tau coming out of TO deployment and moving into range to shoot that accursed bot, just so that it doesn't flame anybody when they come into the building. If you look carefully at the top left side of the photo, you'll see a stairway leading into a building, and there's a small base with a piece of cardboard glued to it, spray painted red. Can you guys see that at the top left there? The markers that I am using now to represent camo tokens and TO tokens. The black ones for TO, the red ones for camo, and I'll draw some numbers on them later. But I got my friend to lend me some blank 40k bases and just put some cardboard on them, just because they're easier to pick up and move around than like these tiny, two-dimensional little card cutouts. I should also mention that he has put a whole lot of guys into suppression fire, including the Hexa inside the building. Next image. This is, of course, why the Ninja comes out of hidden deployment, well, not hidden deployment, TO camo, and moves around the corner with their second, moves up to the corner with their first order, and then with the first short skill of the second order, moves around the corner into base combat and makes a surprise attack. Now, with no MSV, the Hexa is -6 for TO camo, unless I read the rules incorrectly, it's -6 also for surprise attacks, or with a -12, just cannot hit the Ninja, so he decides to go for I believe a dodge instead, but the Ninja manages to land the hit, get the double action, close combat weapon hit off, and kill it. I am using the tac bow Ninja, although I might use the Hacker or the combi rifle one at some stage, or even the sniper version at some stage, but I just love the cheap Ninja profile, and I really love getting into close combat. Next picture, the Yanhuo is making a very ambitious play here and opting to move to the window and open fire against the Fusilia Link team. Now he is coming into the line of sight of both the HMG and the rocket launcher, so both models will ARO with burst 2. He decides to put 3 shots into the missile launcher and 2 shots into the HMG because the HMG is out of cover, easier to win the face-to-face roll, and the missile launcher obviously is the more deadly of the two of them. I don't want that hitting, otherwise he's going to not only blow up the Yanhao quite easily, but also hit that bot next to it, so that would be a disaster. So very risky play here, a gamble from me. I probably shouldn't have done that, but it paid off because I killed both of his models. Next image, we have eliminated the guys defending the Armory. The Guilang forward observer, represented by a sniper rifle Guilang, has come out of TO camo, and not TO camo, regular camo, camouflage, and moved into the building. Later mine, the Ninja has gone for the panoply at the left hand side there and attempted to retrieve some goodies, but has failed his willpower check. The pink lines will represent the line of sight that I've got here. The Hack Tower, the Guilang set up very well, the mine ready to defend the building, and the Ninja hasn't had an opportunity to really run out of orders, didn't have time to go back into TO camo, but he's feeling pretty good anyway. He's rather good at dodging. I've also made a note that the Pan-Oceania guys are behind the building there in safe cover there, so we'll be experiencing some resistance shortly. It's the next turn, and my opponent is landing with a Garuda attack bot, a Garuda, and as you can see here, he's got line of sight behind this building to one of my bots, an engineer, and a Guangxi, and because of my terrible positioning, I can't actually draw line of sight to him, and the Guangxi is blocking line of sight to the Hack Tower further down the street. Also, even if he wasn't blocking line of sight to the Hack Tower, I'm still got a terrible facing, so just shoddy play here. But my opponent, again, with the worst side of the luck here, he's doing terribly this game with the dice rolls. Spreads 3 shots out, 1 for each model, and fails with all of them, and I get some dodges off and turn my models around. So, terrible outcome for the Garuda. Feel very bad for him. If you go to the next picture, you can sort of see the overview of that. The Yanhuos in the building can't draw line of sight, but there's 3 models in the street which reposition after the dodge, and the Garuda goes behind that building, which has that room which has the white crater on top of it. You can also still see those white pebbles just marking out the zones, the zone where it's legal to land. And if you look really carefully, you might see a bit of a hidden treat, ancient relic, high elf army on the shelf behind the table. The good old days. I sometimes miss Warhammer Fantasy 7th edition, but also I kind of don't. By the way, guys, if you hadn't already noticed, I'm kind of burnt out in War Machine as well. That's another story. Back to the bat rep. Okay, so we've got the Guangxi unloading with his chain rifle against the in ARO against the second attempt from the Garuda, and the Garuda just goes down like a sack of not very good stuff. So there you go. By the way, if you look at the side of that building, I've been attempting to stencil on some or paint on some little lettering, but I'm just experimenting so far. It's kind of looking terrible, but I'll fix that up later. Another picture. We are seeing the secondary auxilia team move up towards the building, planning on triggering a mine and sending a guy in to use his flamethrower just to try and clear out the Guilang who is in suppression fire. I usually use a six-sided dice with the 3 facing upward to represent suppression fire, just to remind everybody that he's able to shoot 3 times with the combi rifle. The next picture will show that the auxilia team has now moved to the door. He's setting one guy to flamethrower the Guilang while the other dude, I think, shoots the ninja. I can't remember what happened here. All I remember is that the hack tower blows away one of them and the Guilang shoots back at the other one, and the face-to-face roll is a standoff, so neither of them win that. And the next image, after a prolonged bout of firefighting, like 2 or 3 different orders, the remaining auxilia member managed to knock the Guilang unconscious. The ninja dodges a little bit closer, but unfortunately he has not managed to secure the room. So I've already scored 1 point, it's looking likely I'll get another one. In the next image, we've got another model coming out of hidden deployment in thermo-optical camouflage and moving towards the room. Who could it be? And the next image shows him getting a little bit close to the room, so I guess we're going to skip past this, but my opponent is using these little white cutout circles to represent suppression fire at the moment, so that's what's happened there. So if I move through that door further up there, I'm probably going to get shot pretty badly. Okay, so Yuqing turn 2, and the Guangxis are moving around here. My opponent decides to reveal a Hexa sniper on the building to kill the Guangxi. I feel like he probably should have waited a bit longer. I know it's good to get rid of the Guangxi when you can, but he's playing a major card here without really getting a lot of mileage out of it. I don't really mind losing a 5-point model for the sake of finding out where the Hexa sniper is. By the way, you can also see the spray painting I've been doing on the building there. It's not particularly impressive, just a bit of silver and yellow. I might start painting the individual plates on the building. That might look pretty cool. Next image, the other Guangxi on the other side of the battlefield, because the street has been cleared by the Yanhuo, just basically devastating everything. The Guangxi moves closer to the building, the Armory, and moves through and is able to use his chain rifle on the dude. So on the next photo we'll see that. Chain rifle goes off, kills the auxilia, or at least damages him. No, actually he passes his armor save, as I recall. But it does reveal the TO camo marker guy to be, I think, a crocman. Also, he's got his sniper on the building there, which he's holding, which is also getting shot back at him, so the Guangxi definitely dies here. The next image will show that, yeah, there's indeed a crocman behind the building, the auxilia is still in suppression fire, and the sniper is having a good day. He's feeling good about things. So if we go to the next photo, we're going to ruin that day by moving the hack tower around the side and having a firefight. And although it's against a sniper rifle, double action ammo, I'm not too worried because 4 dice versus 1 usually does the trick. It's TO camo versus TO camo, cover versus cover, +3 range band versus +3 range band, but I've got ballistic skill 14, so the hack tower gets a hit through, it is saved by armor, and the guts check is failed, pushing back the sniper, so meaning this lane is now cleared and free for other stuff to move around. Next image, the Doctor moves up, and we'd attempted to move around with the Yao Zhao helper bot, but he'd been shot by the sniper prior to that previous hack tower order. So the Doctor waits for the hack tower to do his business, and then she runs in and manages to use a willpower check to successfully revive the Guilang forward observer, which is great news because he's free to move over and rummage through the panoply. In the next photo, what's happened here is that the 2 models that have combi rifles have gone to suppression fire. We've landed a new mine and the ninja's hanging out. And the Guilang presses the button on the vending machine for the panoply and comes up with a +3 suit of armor. So he is looking like a tank right now. He's basically heavy infantry. Next photo, my opponent is sort of out of options here. He's got a crocman, he's got a sensor bot. We're moving up with the sensor bot now, just in desperation to try and get something done. He's expended his, I believe, his auxilia, killing, I think it's the Doctor, but losing him once he goes after the Guilang. Armor's just too high, man. You can't crack that. In the next photo, we've moved up with a sensor bot. He's having a bit of a shootout with the Guilang combi rifle, but to no avail. He's just too well armored back there. Combi rifle shooting back, killing the sensor bot. And at that point, that's pretty much it. If we go to the next photo, you can see a Dumaru Butai, which we decided to amuse ourselves by replacing with the Guilang Sniper, just to show how armored he is. And in the next photo after that is a bit of a speech bubble caption. And he's sitting pretty. We've got the sensor bot trying to move into the room, but he's been engaged by the ninja and shot by the Guilang, so he's removed from play. In the next photo, the final Yuching turn, already victorious. The ninja moving around and killing the Crocman in close combat, just because he loves using that sword. And the final photo after that, you've got the Dumaru, just for fun, moving over and going to the other panoply, even though he doesn't need to, and picking up something like a flash pulse or something uneventful. So quite a one-sided game, guys. Hope you enjoyed it anyway. The dice were on my side. I feel like the lists, the matchup was on my side. He was trying a very experimental list with the Neoterra. He didn't have any Swiss Guard or Queller Guards, so no heavy infantry to deal with. And winning the roll for first turn and taking the second turn definitely helped there as well. So that's what became of the game. Hope you like this one. Having some more games in the weekend, hopefully against Nomads, so going to be reporting back, see how that goes. Guys, can you please go to the Flamestrike website and rate and commend my bat reps? I would love you so much if you do that. So please click the link in the video description and click the commend button. Thank you very much.